by way of the legal framework for the EPR system that we'll establish. Thank you.
So to even elucidate further, you see, Ghana has realized together with other nations that maybe it's unconscionable to hold certain entities who use plastic as part of their packaging, even primarily responsible. But because of jurisdictional issues, we cannot hold, let's say, Aramco responsible. So Ghana is in the forefront of bringing an international treaty so that those who actually generate plastics from source, plastics are going for byproduct of petroleum. So if Petrobras, Aramco, the one for Venezuela and Russia and all that, unless we go by international collaboration, and I'm telling you, Ghana actually, we have tabled a resolution or whatever you call it for consideration, putting a levy on that. And when we get that money, that is why we use it to augment our internal EPRP system for those. Yes, I will just go and put in a little caveat. It's not like the polluter pays, we are actually going to collect. They may not even have the capacity. But the financial burden will be on them. And we are negotiating with them. It's not like an imposition. That's why I say we don't want to disrupt the economy, unlike other countries. Sometimes if you go and say, Rwanda has banned plastics, so ban plastic. If you don't take care, in these difficult times of our economy, you come and disrupt everything. But my aim is that by the time I leave office, all these framework things and the platform that we have to generate, whoever takes from me, I will have prepared that thing so that in double quick time they will do it. And most of the issues will then have been settled. So currently, I'm in engagement with the big companies. I can even name some of them because it will put them good light. They are happy, the Coca-Cola, the Nestle's, and all that. They want to contribute because they themselves appreciate that this plastic issue is a national issue which does not even inure to their corporate, good corporate image. You understand? So that is our approach. Thank you. And then the next one was space policy and the benefits. As for the benefits, it's so much. Let me start from the benefits. Right now, Ghana consumes a lot of data. And ministries, sectors have all sorts of arrangements with entities who provide data which use space technology. There's no coordination, and we are not even getting good value for money. So if we scan around and we have this policy and embedded in it are guidelines as to how we are going to even get access data. Let me say that space does not necessarily mean that you are going to put Ghana, I want to claim our own local name, onto this thing. That is for the optics. Look, this gadget was known to, mobile phone, was what Neil Armstrong and others used when they were speaking, when they set foot on the moon. But it used to be a military secret until Americans saw that no more, and then became commercial. Now I can do e-farming from my farm, even now, in real time. So all the point we are saying is that the benefits, we have to get a policy which will guide how we will get a benefit. As for the thing about putting people, people on the moon, yes, Ghana can negotiate. We can have 1, 2, or 3 bright young people that we've been to space before. That is not the main aim. So when you talk about space, it's not about putting people there. It could be part of it. Why not? UAE has sent people into space. Small country, they have money. So if we have money, we can put people into space. We either rent a place, either on a Russian vehicle, or who is that private man? Elon Musk. Yeah, that half American, half African. Yeah, so you can. So that one is neither here nor there. Even we are going to have space tourism, so we don't have to get a cosmonaut or an astronaut. So that is that. So about the what do you call it? He asked about time. Did I hear time frame? Yes, Cabinet has cleared it, so we have a communication plan. I'm not too sure that this one will be. They even asked me a question in Parliament. Actually, I've answered it. So that's it. We have to communicate. So perhaps this is the change initiation step. So officials here, make sure. But the Space Institute, there was a freeze on setting up new institutes. But I'm pleading for exemption in regard to this space agency because they have everything. There is zero burden on government. So indeed, if you don't do it, in fact, Ghana is even going to incur losses. So I'm taking steps. I think I've written, I'm not too sure, that they should exempt us so that we formally put up the space agency because there is no financial burden. But as you are aware, there's a government policy that because of our economic difficulties, we should not be setting up new entities. Then the climate and clean energy, oh yes, I've answered that. The landscape restoration thing, where have we reached? I think, who can best me? Director of Environment, Peter Derry. Peter, you are the guru. This guy, if you leave him, Ghana is lost.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. So like the Minister said, the Landscape Restoration Project is an upscale of the Sustainable Land and Water Management Project, which we implemented for 10 years. Under the Landscape Restoration Project, we are aiming at rehabilitating approximately 2.9 million hectares across the different districts. So what we are saying is that we are not just looking at a very large piece of land of about 2.9 million hectares. No, it's going to be done in different areas. So please don't come and ask us, where is the 2.9 million hectares that we are talking about? It's going to be distributed across the 10 districts that the minister actually talked about. So that is how it is. In terms of implementation, the project has just started a year ago. So we are still at the very early stages of implementation. And I'm sure by the time we get to the second and third year, you will begin to see some of the rehabilitation, especially in the mine-out areas. Thank you very much.
But you didn't say that the mine-out areas is an additional component. The original one, it wasn't covering the
Yes, yes. Yes. Yes, so we've had to add the mine-out areas because of the issues related to Galamsey. That was not originally even conceptualized, but it had to be added because it has become a very hot issue now in Ghana, and we need to address it together. Thank you.
Okay, we'll take the last set of questions. If I see any hands, Nana Poku and cool.
Yeah, good morning, Doctor. My name is Nana Poku from Daily Searchlight. In Europe is considering coming out with electric cars because of the carbon dioxide emission from the known cars that we use. Is Ghana considering, because now a lot of automobile companies are coming here and they are producing the same old cars that we are aware of. Can we also switch off from the current system of vehicles to electric cars in future? Now, my second question, Honorable Minister, we operate open drains, and because of open drains, we have a lot of filth that creating some diseases and environmental hazards and things like that. What can we do, or what must we do at least to name this very situation in the bud? Thank you.
Honorable, good morning. Pastor Femi Opoku, from Kingdom FM. Pastor, my question here to Jedin Kanye, Yene Honorable Echo some talk akra, and on waste plastic waste collectors and private companies no we recycling no share Emaneka say aban no mobile delay how to collect plastic waste na ɛwɔ kurom no. Yɛpɛ sɛ ebusa honorable sɛ so far san hyehyɛ na kosi sɛn ɔmo these individuals ne companies no adele sɛn na ɛkɔ ɔmo ahyɛ ase mpo ɛsesa plastic waste na na ɛna deɛ ɛtɔ so mmienu so honorable ka sɛ ɔka something about plastic free school project asɛm yɛpɛ sɛ ebusa honorable there have been suggestions say yɛm started this plastic collection any wasting yɛmfa nhyɛ yɛ basic schools syllables mu tinkwala no they are ɔmo how they are supposed to go about this waste management anyhow ɛbɛkɔ no honorable need these suggestions to be aware and at the end of the education minister in terms of adding this education to the syllabus.
Okay, thank you for the questions. I can't see any hands, so I take that to be the last question. On that note, I will invite Honorable Minister to give us his responses and also his concluding remarks.
Thank you. EV cars, let me put in a disclaimer. What I'm saying is not the final say. You know, that's as usual. I've said policy, legislation, we look at it. But the ultimate, or at least a major part of this answer lies with Minister of Transport, Kokwe Siama. But we are looking at our international obligations, our NDCs, and our contributions, and where the transport sector, their contribution. So when we link it, we can then advise Siama. But what I know is that the EV cars issue, we are in a transition. Some of the electric, if you want to bring EV cars, you have to get a big capital outlay to invest and all that. Because if you are, let's say, to be answering in a practical terms, Accra Kumasi, you have to get strategic points where you can actually even plug in and charge your cars as you run out of, batteries. And then there's the question of lithium. And there's even this vexed question in Europe. A lot of them are doing what in my own private parlance I call rope-a-dope. The batteries, the energy that is charging these EV cars, some of them, when you calculate the energy which is put into it, and then know that you will see that the net balance is that you are even putting more carbon, in other words, the carbon footprint for the whole life cycle of that EV cars is even positive. So you are not saving anything. In certain instances, you are even making the equation, the solution worse. So all that I'm saying is that, yes, even as I speak to you, you must be aware that Ghana is even piloting electric vehicles here, even as we and I call it, let's walk as we talk. So we are piloting. But as for policy positions on them, it depends. Even there's no closure on this matter, even in the advanced countries. Yes, it pays to learn. So that is why. So it's not like immediately go and then bring even the internal combustion engine. It's only on recently, after Nkrumah experimented with a little bit, it's only recently under Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo that a lot of companies have set shop here, even doing internal combustion engine, not to talk of e-cars. But I've always said that actually, because of the non-rigidities in our system, because of technology, in certain instances, we can even jump the technology gap. So it's not like we are being tardy because we feel we are underdeveloped. No, but we are looking at the issues. Let me give you a practical example. A lot of Ghanaians don't know that the penetration of mobile phones in Ghana, when I came back from America, we have better even penetration of mobile phone usage in Ghana than even America. Yes. And then when you even look at applications, there are several areas in digital platforms, applications, where we are even ahead in Africa and very, very competitive in anywhere else in the world. For example, the banking sector. It's not every country in Europe who has done what our government have done. In the interbank operability and all those things. It's not everywhere. So as for technology, we are leveraging on it, but it's except that we are not bringing it to the appreciation of Ghanaians. And then, of course, when it comes to somebody, a ministry like Mercy being appreciated, as far as we are down. But you see, like computer, people are doing higher level language stuff. We are happy with the assembler and machine language stuff. So even when, as we are doing WhatsApp, you will see that there are certain silent platforms going on, back down to the digital element. So we are the Boolean, if you like, and me, I like analogy. So we deal with the Boolean issues, the 0 and 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, and then we come to the bits and bytes, and the others can do higher level, and then you get to your applications, and then you are happy. So to answer you directly, on the electrical issues, Ghana has appreciated it. We are keeping tabs on the evolving issues. Ghana through Mercy, is evaluating all the issues with regard to the environment, because the underpinning of this vehicle movement is climate issues. Whether they truly answer. Some people in Europe won't let go the internal combustion engine. So they are looking at hydrogen as an alternative to the powered vehicles. It's not settled. Ghana has a lot of advantage even generation of hydrogen from residual renewable issues, because we are in the tropical area. We can grow so many trees, we can burn them through pyrolysis and generate hydrogen. There are several issues. If we want to answer, it will be a huge lecture. But suffice that, look, I say that those people in these two rows, they are some of the best brains you can find anywhere when this conversation is taking place, because I've traveled with them. And when I even tended to underrate their capacity. When I travel with them, they tend to speak. These professors and doctors, you will be amazed at the knowledge that they have. So trust me, simply put, we are keeping a tab on this vehicle, its evolution, and will not be left behind. In fact, when it comes to it, maybe we will even jump ahead, because our economy is such that there's a lot of flexibility in it, instead of like Europe, where they are even rigid interests. They've put in factories that will have to be retooled or jettisoned, set up new factory lines to do this. We don't have it. So we are on a clean slate, but we have to wait for the arguments to be settled before we jump in. You understand? Fine. The other question was the plastics, open drains. Well, that's Cecilia Dapa's turf. But again, we also play, and then Damboche's turf. We play a role to them. We do the research. For example, I'm aware that if you want to do a research about, we can use radioisotopes to tag some of these plastics and see where they are. GAEC can do that. So we have got so many things, and even the open seas, the coastal belt that we are doing, we are linking all of this scientific knowledge and putting it at the, in the hands of the other entities. If I go and do open drain, that one, surely I'm going on somebody's mandate. I can do it in tandem with them. So that is that. So I will carry it. Open drains, we've recognized it as a big problem. But you see, you cannot develop and leave your sociology behind. I keep on saying, if you go and do covered drain, how many times within 1 week it will be choked, and you have to open and desilt and the clog and all that. And it's all money. So in fact, that brings me, this one permit me, since I have a captive audience, I will say this. Ghanaians, we have to look at the software component of our development. That's behavioral change. That is mental attitude. Those things, those are the real issues for development. If you go and build factories, and you are coming from your home, and your father or your parents tell you, baby, I do quit there. So why you and you now last no. I never know person. Ministry where I do call head there. So why ye means if you have. What do they mean by that? We should confront those issues. When we are talking about corruption and that, it's a mindset issue. I'm putting it to you today that if the whole generation of Ghanaians do not want corruption and we press the reset button, there will be no corrupt politicians. You won't get even space to operate. But you want it. Open protocol. Protocol is saying somebody's child from CVSM does not have a godfather, is being denied, and you are happy. You think that is not the ultimate level of corruption? That's not why you brought me here. Don't let me go into some other things. So to answer you about plastics, again, the Kingdom FM, you asked this in chief, so permit me to answer in chief, or should I go English? Here, plastics, analysis. The Brunisi fundamental issues. So I'm saying that here, you say plastic a waste. Mebwa. One who your mindset issue change, we won't go anywhere. Plastic and your waste. A secondary resource. First name generative you two oil. But they say a resource. A whole industry can be built around the plastics. Ghana even is ahead. In this year, capacity, I bet my import plastics are yet to go Burkina, Cote d'Ivoire, near the cross-setting industry. Can you imagine the amount of work I bet my generate? Into first, you see in your mindset change, the whole idea. In fact, a PBT, maybe some questions, no, into a buying cry, no, the Zoom lie on no more quality, now yet the frail waster. Let's just say, you're doing say you waste. It seems to me, say, yet the Asham in some Mumbai by administrative edit. I see a young who said plastic crown, it is no longer a waste, a resource. Now, if young handles our resource in a year, now I break it down into the micro and nanoplastics, now enter food web on so a bit me hamo Ghanaians. So ye reset mind, you know. If now the EPRP extended producer responsibility no ni ade ba no bi atiase na so officer a baller a my friend, and when we have a difficulty again here one of my favorite saying is action without thought is blind. Who ye be na wan you are acting like a blind person. But thought without action so empty. The American man find your juma. Na just say my dream no me the call. We no mum say ye na ya dream ye DCC ani na ye ji too much on mine. Plastics, we need that kind of conversation. And no never you can say segregate plastics. No one will say there is value in it and you waste. Na mean so me yan share our plastics no wa segregating no sika da so no kra no. Yetuaoka. And when I say, I am sorry for any idea in a Methodist. You know, you can't say, boy, for Toboa, for people, monies for people in penury and idea. Some Crofono cry, no imagine, say, sorry, be or let's say, Osu, near the Ashon, San Crofono cry, a genuity scar, near your mom plastic. Because the biggest problem with plastics, they say, ye ba hono na minimum officials in your conversation ya mpo yenya mindset change. It is say solar or Daniel Paul. No. You see the biggest problem in plastics ni say as I speak to you now no private sector no kra no almost is so on pikibi. Now me bisa a question. Say what is plastics? The model financial model na ya this is ano. Anything what is near the C scale so near tua oka meboa. Na wo sisa plastics na wo ko hu banku rubber ani ewiase esum semu ni ewiase esum na wo hu ko 4 gallon na wo hu ginyame plastics na wo hu overhead tanker ati atofam abubu de na wo befa mesemu nyima no overhead tank na wo di 2 scales so wo benya 3 kilos na wo imagine say banku rubber wo be sisa and sana when you even half a kilo. And only the fundamental problem with plastic waste management in Ghana. Intina Messi what we call preventive system and now plastic not seen system. In other words, you go super, ye facing or pilot face me kind. Ye be fa constituency be a near constituency, electoral area be no. Near ye who in a constituency. Now you who say plastics, your demarcated area, and you will be rewarded according to plastics not seen, not plastics collected. Who collected crowd, you carry not for any additional bonus. Ya no sir. Now you this model way, this is a plastics are more impune. What do you mean, ya drain say, sir, plastics na your friend of farm plastics, another terminology no. Plastics in Yanka, a reasi is soon banku rubber. Ebe quality. Mpato yimano, ombe quality. Obian quality, Nanunsun articulator be chum or wale highway. Na a dear tisi, and na say, Sande ma me call, me we ufi say plastics, a big problem in Accra. Do a rethink. It's even worse in the savannah regions because of more topography, vegetation, And we have to come with conceptual framework. And say, action without thought is blind. And yet theory, you may be a say one so I very deep emudo. Mercy is at it, but again we are slow because we have to collaborate with other ministries. Make plastics, local government need to sign agreement. Into make of our sika ya de one here baby cry me ya na ya double payment. But also what I say, and I mean power and so to go and abrogate the idea and yet escape idea na mekano. Minister and so I'm allowed to take risk. Into mube hu and check certain areas, yes, it's plastics no. But it will be the operational phase. Ebema buying sukra we said this method no, this juma, then together many by the way, many Damboche, Cecilia Dapa, we are cooperating, many chairperson on this plastic issue. Today be a year. And you know, there is no idea. But you know, Sanyoma, when I say, yet, Chro, a your mayor, Juma, Ontina, Rwanda, I had your be almost as yentem. Nayans, Yemfa, Precompe, Naye, economic arrangements in this country, near pass laws to be a problem, Beba. And no. And your excuse. And am I slow? Now me pen in tem cry cham. I hope I've answered you. And a school syllabus no dear Yasha simple. Lydia, is that not true? Yasha say a old school or more curriculum. Part Minister of Education. And also you've been answered. Thank you. I hope I've done justice to you. Yeah, okay. Obi onimi no say from far no I don't talk too much, but we share me one there. I take all the conversation. No apologies for that because Mercy is a suppressed ministry and Monty and voice. To Makasa Bibra in church. But having said that, let me thank everybody for their attention. I think I've enjoyed myself, and this has been very cathartic because a lot of our frustrations in Mercy. I'm sure my directors haven't done justice to the subject. I have done. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Minister for Information, Honorable Kojo Nkrumah, I would like to express our most sincere gratitude to you for making time for this important exercise. I also acknowledge the presence of our Chief Accountant, Hajia Sawadatu Fuseni, the press, and everyone who made time to be here. It's our prayer that you will engage Ghanaians on our behalf as always and make sure they get the good news. Minister, it's my prayer that this is a see you again and not a goodbye. And any time that you reach out to us, we'll make sure the platform is available and accessible to you and your team. Thank you so much for coming today. Good morning.